Preparing competent bacterial cells for transformation is a crucial step in genetic engineering. The goal is to make the bacterial cell membrane permeable to foreign DNA, like a plasmid. Let's walk through the two most common methods used to prepare competent cells: chemical preparation using calcium chloride and electroporation. This is a widely used method for preparing E. coli cells. Here's how it works. First, bacteria like E. coli are inoculated into a growth medium, such as algae broth, and grown overnight at 37 degrees Celsius with shaking. The next day, the culture is diluted into fresh algae broth and incubated again until the bacteria reach midlog phase, when they're most active and responsive to becoming competent. Once at midlog phase, the cells are chilled on ice to slow down their metabolism, making them more receptive to transformation. The cells are then centrifuged to pellet them, and the supernatant is discarded. Afterward, the pellet is resuspended in cold calcium chloride solution. Calcium chloride neutralizes the negative charges on the DNA and cell membrane, helping the DNA pass through the membrane more easily. Next comes the heat shock step. After adding the plasmid DNA to the competent cells, the mixture is briefly exposed to a heat shock at 42 degrees Celsius, creating temporary pores in the membrane through which DNA can enter. The cells are then placed back on ice to stabilize the membrane. After heat shock, the cells are incubated in a growth medium for recovery, allowing time for the cells to express the new genes introduced by the plasmid. Finally, the transformed cells are plated on algae-agar plates containing antibiotics, such as ampicillin, for selection. Only the bacteria that successfully take up the plasmid will survive, and colonies will grow overnight. This method is simple, cost-effective, and works well for many E. coli strains, though it may be less efficient for certain strains or larger plasmids. The second method, electroporation, uses an electric pulse to open pores in the bacterial membrane, allowing DNA to enter. Similar to the chemical method, bacteria are inoculated into algae broth and grown to midlog phase. However, after chilling the cells on ice, they are washed multiple times with ice-cold glycerol instead of calcium chloride. Glycerol stabilizes the cells and removes any salts that might interfere with the electroporation process. After washing, the cells are mixed with the plasmid DNA and placed in a special cuvette. This cuvette is placed in an electroporator, and a brief, high-voltage electric pulse is applied. This pulse creates temporary pores in the bacterial membrane, allowing the DNA to pass through. After the electric shock, the cells are immediately placed in a recovery medium and incubated to express the antibiotic resistance gene. Like in the chemical method, the cells are then plated on antibiotic-containing algae-agar plates to select for successfully transformed cells. Both chemical preparation and electroporation are effective methods for making bacteria competent for transformation. The choice between the two depends on the strain of bacteria, the size of the DNA, and the equipment available. Competent cells are essential tools in molecular biology, allowing scientists to introduce foreign DNA into bacteria for genetic studies, protein production, and cloning.